So, hey everybody, good morning. It's Dispeller. I'm getting ready for work soon, but uh, I have a little bit of time, so I'm going to do our completion of the book that we've been doing. And the end chapter will be called Renewal. Um, you might have seen on the thumbnail that was my kitty cat that's been so sick, Maverick. He's all better now. He coughs a little bit, but nothing like he was. He was coughing like a duck, like quack, quack, quack. He's all better. So, thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your good wishes, good thoughts my way, good vibes, whatever. Um, he's doing well. And I'm very thankful that a lady that works at a shelter for animals told me to give him Benadryl, like about an eighth of a teaspoon, and I did. He slept, and I think that was enough for his body to recuperate and get a little bit of well needed rest for healing. Because as you know, when you sleep, you heal. And he wasn't sleeping very well because he couldn't breathe. So that helped him breathe enough that he could sleep, and now he's better. So I'm happy about that. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the last chapter day of this book. This is day 30. Congratulations if you've been following along all along. You have made it. You've made it to the 30-day mark with me. As I said, I haven't applied any of this per se, although I've kind of subconsciously applied it all along. But it's been a really good read. And we are on the last chapter called Renewal, which means it will be time to start the next book, which as soon as I'm done with this, I will talk to you a little bit about the next book so you kind of have an idea of what some of those chapters will deal with. All right. So, what a magnificent opportunity you now have. What a wonderful adventure awaits you. Here you are, reborn in the light shed by all your new insights about what will make life so much more fulfilling, sustaining, and strength giving. Even loving if there's a next time around. What an exciting prospect just to be alive. Can't you feel it? No? Oh well. So you're not quite there yet. You were there, or so you thought, when you were in LOVE. Love, sweet love. That magic non medical cure all, that undying hunger demands to be fed. And of course, let's not forget the mind altering flow of endorphins. Not even chocolate can match it quite. Oh, yes, that was nice. Wouldn't you love to have that feeling again, being the addictive creature that you are? Now get rational just for a moment and think about what endorphins actually do. They're your brain's primitive equivalent of morphine, a self manufactured euphoria drug, and they do what other drugs like them do mask pain. Yet, love shouldn't be used as a means to mask pain. If it is, it's eventually going to lose its pain relieving side effect. That's when you wind up in worse shape than before you just first discovered this addictive drug. That's when you find yourself not in LOVE, but in PAIN. Love conquers fools as well as the wise. Too many people get trapped swinging wildly between a blissful obliviousness and disappointed frustration. There are no happy landings for these desperate souls. Their bliss, while it lasts, certainly feels like perfect love. If you're in it, you may insist, glassy eyed, feeling no pain, of course, that it's true love, uncut. Later, when your fires of bliss have burned into cinders, you'll realize that although love is all that you asked for, nothing was there. Who can explain why it died? It can't have, really, you say, because love conquers all. Love actually may, but first you must recognize in it all of its many expressions and disguises, especially when it passes through your own heart. It is now time to take these insights and broaden your understanding of what love really is. And in doing so, you'll never have to look for love again, because it will find you every day, in everything from the laughter of a child to the caress of the wind. This book is about much more than healing. It's about learning how not to get so deeply wounded by losses, and about ways to take your mind and your body to a far stronger level than you've ever enjoyed before, to give you strength not for winning contests or games, but for just loving, free of fear, free of guilt, free of shame. Before I can continue on, Please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share with your friends and hit the little bell in the bottom here somewhere so that you don't miss any more uploads. I do upload, I try to upload every day, but sometimes things get in the way, and that was not a rhyme, intentional. But you might miss some kind of good video that I do, and you don't want to do that. So hopefully, and sometimes I do go live. You don't want to miss the live streaming either. So do that, and I'll see you on the other side. Now, remember when you fell in love with your ex, your heart was ready for a romantic involvement. The care of your being was open to romance. As long as the romance lasted, you were nourished by your love. When your love died, gradually or suddenly, you found yourself cultivating a relationship that no longer bore fruit. Your feelings of love could no longer nourish your emotional needs. It takes time to prepare your heart's garden for a new planting, and even longer for such an involvement to take root. Worse, if you involve yourself in a romance while pretending to be true to another long-standing love, the odds of your second secret relationship becoming successful for life will be reduced by your failure to be truthful to the first. Some people decide to completely give up on cultivating romance after one or more two painful failures. We have no quarrels with this choice. Women may say that they're tired of washing other people's underwear. Men may say they're tired of being taken to the cleaners. Say whatever you like, so long as you remain open to the healing power of love in at least some of its myriad forms. Romance can be considered to be a disposable option in your prescription for happiness. But most people do choose to cultivate new romantic relationships. Hope springs eternal. According to the Census Bureau, 64% of all divorced women eventually remarry. That might be different now, statistic wise, because this book was written in 2000. The figure is close to the same for men, and many of those who divorce will ultimately remarry a former spouse. Whomever divorces may choose to remarry. Unfortunately, 1 in 4 will get divorced once again. Yeah. As they say, timing is everything. When should you start to rebuild your garden? For most people, 30 days is just too short a time to think about dating again. We assume that by now you're through with trying to see or speak to your ex. Hopefully you're even over the crying jags and beating up pillows to vent your rage. But you won't be ready to really open yourself to another love until you finally can forgive or forget your grievances with your ex. In fact, to relate to a prospective new mate in a positive, wholesome, productive manner, you'll need to feel good about your life once again. You can't behave like a victim who's been poisoned by biting one of love's unripe fruit. Once you get really well, then you can begin to seriously date. Until then, you're just shopping. Because the best prospects will be sensitive enough to pick up on your negative attitude, you'll probably wind up scaring the good ones away, and that may only amplify the pain that you feel. Dating can be an awesome adventure or a drag. If you're planning on dating to keep your mother off your back or to keep up with the folks at the office, forget it. Tell the friends who want to fix you up to wait. Stand on the sidelines until your stomach is ready for the roller coaster ride. Be sure your sense of humor is in top working condition. You're going to need it when you do date again. How do you know when you're ready, when you're really ready? Start by asking yourself if you can now accept rejection as a tasteless act rather than as a knife in the heart. Ask yourself if you're now smart enough not to involve yourself with someone who's already committed to somebody else. Can you handle talking with a new love interest about what went wrong with your last relationship? Someone who really cares about you may be curious. Can you accept that interest and respond maturely? Can you manage to deal with differences with someone new in a more positive and productive manner than you did with your ex? Can you learn from your errors in your last relationship and do better the next time? Hi, Inga. Good morning. I know you are. I'm glad you love it. And I'll be talking about the next series very soon. Today. Make a list of how you will do that. Write it down. Put it in a place where you can find it and read it again when you need it. Okay. Can you tell someone else that you don't really wish to involve yourself with him or her in a kind and positive yet completely honest manner? Reject him without harm. Are you ready to deal with the fearful sense that someone else is so attractive, so compellingly appealing that he or she may actually have some kind of power to influence your feelings? How afraid are you of love itself? Can you afford to open your heart to a new romantic seed? Are you really ready to accept love from another? Or do you still have a need to punish someone for having the nerve to care about you? Confused? Take comfort in knowing that happiness can still be yours. If some pain still lingers, draw solace from knowing you are far from alone. Misery loves company? No, time heals all wounds. Deal with whatever pain still ails you. Keep using our exercises and tips. If you haven't had time or patience to follow through on all of them, go back now that you feel a bit calmer and try them again. Your persistent efforts will change your life for the better. I do plan on doing that, by the way. Definitely. Pain aside, even if your loss at first seemed like the very worst experience you ever have lived through, you probably begun to understand it. So understand this more deeply. Loss and recovery are part of a natural process. They are a necessary part of the cycle of destruction and creative rebirth that generates our wholeness. So don't be surprised if someday you find yourself looking back on this time of your recovery as being far richer in significance and ultimately more rewarding than the experiences you recall from your romantic relationship. Love, loss, injury, and recovery are some of the most powerful teaching tools given to us by life's designer. Embrace their cycle. Renew your own meanings. Now's the time to relieve your heart of the weight of your loss so you may once again rise to the healing powers of love. It surrounds you always. All right, we are done. We did the whole book, the whole thing, guys, the whole thing. I did not skip any chapters, I promise you. So this guy, Howard Bronson, has written 8 books on bereavement, self-empowerment, and creativity. He earned his master's degree in journalism from Boston University, did further studies in psychology at the University of Denver, and he lives in Laguna Beach, California. Mike Riley, the other guy that helped write this, is president of public enterprise marketing consulting firm serving institutional clients. A successful inventor and entrepreneur, Riley earned his graduate journalism degree at Northwestern University. He lives in Santa Monica, California. So these guys live in different parts of California, got together and wrote this wonderful book for us. And it has been wonderful. That has been How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 Days, a day-by-day guide to saying goodbye and getting on with your life. If you missed any of the days that I talked about, please go back. I forgot to link yesterday when I said I was going to link the other video. I'll do that sometime today. I do have to work today, so I don't know exactly when I'll get to that. But I'll try to link this here, or there, wherever. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. But I will link another day on there so you can kind of follow along on the other days. I have been putting them into their own playlist, How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 Days. So you can look for it all right on the playlist. It'll be perfectly arranged for you. There won't be anything else on that playlist other than that book. Makes it a lot easier to just go back and review and reread. I did, Inga. That's what I just said. Yes. Okay. And now for a preview of the next series. This has been majorly voted on by, I think, over 70% of the people that did the poll. Dealing with people you can't stand. How to bring out the best in people at their worst. By Dr. Rick Brinkman and Dr. Rick Kirshner will be the next series that we do. It includes annoying emails and other new bad behaviors. So over 2 million copies sold. Let's see when this was copyrighted. This is a 3rd edition, 2012. So we're going back to the early 2000s, y'all, when a lot of the really good books were written. I'm just going to briefly tell you a little bit about some of the chapters so you kind of know some of the contents here. Getting to know the people you can't stand. The 10 plus 3 most wanted list. I'm just going to skip around a little bit. The road of hell is paved with good intentions. Listen to understand. Speak to be understood. How to change your attitude. The tank, the sniper, the know-it-all, the think they know it all, the grenade, the yes person, the maybe person, the nothing person, the whiner, the no person, the judge, the meddler, the martyr. What if people can't stand you? Communication in a digital age. The 8 ounces of prevention in email communication. And how to take the big step of applying the little steps in this book. So yeah, it looks like a fantastical reading here. Trying to see how long the chapters are, because that one that I just did, The chapters were rather small, hoping the same for this. Let's see. They're not too bad. One chapter at a time will take us quite some time, but we will do it. We will get through the book, and maybe we'll learn a little bit more about the people we are surrounded with in our own lives. Whoops, I just dropped the book on the floor. So anyhow, on that note, does anybody have any takeaways or input you want to give, or let me know the thing you liked about the last series I just finished up, the How to Heal a Broken Heart in 30 Days. Has anybody applied it and used it to heal your broken heart and wants to share about it? You can do it now. You can do it later in comments. It doesn't matter. Or you can choose not to do it at all. It doesn't matter to me either way. I will be going back through that book and applying those exercises that they gave, because I didn't really have time while I was doing the book. I've been dealing with other stuff here. So yeah. Anywho, anybody at all? If not, I will be excited to start this new series with you. That book that we just did, just for your FYI here, has a total of, well, it says 211 pages, but I don't think I read the contents and stuff. So about 200 pages long. Oh, yeah. That's a good thing, Inga. Me too. It's good to know how to process the stuff that you went through, after the fact. You can look at it more objectively. Like I said, it really provides objectivity. And that's what I'm all about, is looking at things objectively. So let me see. This book starts, okay, it starts on page 1. Good. So this will be, hold on. This will be 283 pages. So it's a little longer than the other book, but it's a thicker book. It's like way, way thicker than this one was. See, like that. That's the difference. But so it'll take us a while to get through it, and that's okay. We have to break it into parts. We'll get through it in parts. I think these books are phenomenal. I know everybody does not have time to read. Some people just clean their house and listen to these books as I read them. I'm glad I'm able to do that. I'm glad I have a voice to do that, and that you enjoy it, and that it's helping you, and it's giving you insight into whatever you're going through, because that's what it's about, is helping each other get through those hard things we get through. And I love the parts, for me, the takeaway is the part on forgiveness and letting go. The biggest thing I've had to learn in life, I think, is letting go. And I've gotten really good at it. So like, if this thing that I'm in now, my marriage, were to fizzle out, I know I would make it, because I know how to let go and move on very easily. It's not a hard thing for me. I get over things pretty quickly, and I'm able to not jump into the next relationship, but fully put myself in the next relationship, being totally healed and cleansed, if you will, from the last whatever it is. Does that mean you don't bring some baggage into your next relationship? No, you will. You'll definitely bring baggage. Everybody does. But you'll work through it if you got the right person that's patient, and they'll work through their baggage with you. And that's how you form a tight relationship bond with somebody, is not just always having the frou-frou and the flowers, but when the things go wrong, when you miscommunicate and you fight, do you come back together and discuss it? I know that's one thing with Matthew and I. We always did that. Our premarital counselor said they never saw a more compatible couple. And there have been times where we've said, are they sure? Were they sure? What were they seeing? Because we're just not seeing it. There are times we butt heads so bad, but we always come and talk about it. I'm usually the stubborn one that wants to sulk, I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. Just go away. And that's me. He's the one that says, come on, we got to talk. We got to communicate. Let's work this out. I'll give you time, but we got to talk about it. And we do. And we work through it. And we've worked through many, many, many things. We both have counselors, therapists, if you will. So we can bounce our ideas and our insights off of other people that aren't involved closely in the situation. That's so important. If you're in any kind of relationship with a significant other, please go to see a therapist. It's so good. Or some kind of third-party mediator that's not wrapped up in your stuff, that can give you, objective insights into what you're going through, and give you different approaches you might consider on how to handle things and deal with each other, because it's important. All right. Anyway, on that note, I appreciate everybody who later on watches this video. I appreciate the ones that have been observing and not chatting as well. And those that will observe and not chat later. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for just showing up if you did. I appreciate it. We will be dealing with people you can't stand the next time I do a read. And we will start with chapter 1, which is, actually I might do the intro and chapter 1. There's lots of little cute little illustrations in this book. I like that. The introduction, yes, we will do that. That's a couple pages. And then part 1 goes right into chapter 1. The 10 plus 3 most unwanted list. So be looking forward to this next time. I will see you then, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day. Be blessed. Shalom.